Hi, it's Kim Wilde here, and I'm amplified with Paulie D.
Hi, it's Paulie D from Amplify. How are you?
I'm great. You're my last interview tonight.
Yay! It's about 10 o'clock there, right?
That's right. Yeah. I'm just eyeing up a nice bottle of red that I opened up earlier on. And I'm just thinking about that second glass, and I thought I'll just wait until I've spoken to you.
I'll try and make it quick then, because I know I do have priorities. Well, look, we've been lucky enough to see you over here quite regularly. You know, I think your last visit was 2 years ago. What memories do you have of Australia?
Oh, so many. I mean, I first came over when I was 13 in 1973, and I remember because we stayed in Sydney, and my dad was doing some gigs there. And the Opera House had just been completed, I think, then. And we went to see it, and I remember being absolutely blown away. And I've been back many times. Obviously, I came back in the 80s, you know, when I was promoting Kids in America and doing Molly Meldrum's show and a whole bunch of other really fun shows in Australia. And then I came back again, I think, in the 90s. I had a greatest hits tour then. And then I came back in the noughties when I did one of the 80s tours with the Human League and Belinda Carlisle. And the last time I was there, as you said, was 2 years ago with Nick Kershaw, which was such a great tour.
Is there anything in particular that you're wanting to see or do while you're here this time?
Well, you know, I mean, I've looked at the schedule, so there's not much time to you know, not much time, you know, really for sightseeing or being a tourist. But I always take my trainers wherever I go, so I like to just put them on and just escape from the hotel and just walk and see where it takes me. There's always time to get out for a couple of hours, and the best way to see anywhere is by foot. So I'll certainly be doing a bit of that.
And look, the tour you're doing in Australia this year, it's called an 80s extravaganza tour. And we seem to be seeing a lot of the 80s artists touring these days. I wanted to know what you think it is about 80s music that everyone wants to sort of revisit and new generations want to go there. What is it about 80s music?
Well, I think there's several things. I mean, I think the decade, you know, people do see the 80s through rose-tinted spectacles, so they were kind of, I guess they were the days before a lot of people who were buying records then had mortgages or responsibilities or much in the way of that. So there's a sort of sense of, you know, those were the good old days. You know, I sort of think that to a degree, but I'm not a great sentimentalist about things like that. But for sure, the music has stood the test of time. That's absolutely for sure. Some great pop records were made at that time, and it was a real melting pot. You know, I mean, you know, we'd been through the 60s and 70s, and the 80s was all very sort of post-punk and new wave, and a real melting pot of all the pop history that had come before. And of course ABBA, you know, can't forget ABBA. So, you know, ABBA and punk, you know, and then everyone sort of took it from there.
Do you have a favourite 80s artist?
Well, that's a difficult question. I mean, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Billy Idol, I have to tell you.
Oh yeah, yep.
I've done a few big festivals with him in Vienna. I did a massive one with him, and he's a very inspiring performer, and God, he made some great records.
You opened in '88 for Michael Jackson's Bad Tour. How was that?
Yeah, that was a real highlight of my career. My album Close was out at the time. You know, it was a perfect storm, really. You know, Michael was at the peak of his success, arguably, I would say, and at his very best. And so to be, you know, opening for him, and I got great reviews, and I got a great reaction, and it really, it was wonderful to watch him, you know, at the top of his game and being so amazing every night. It was an incredible privilege and very inspiring, and I'm very thankful that I was given that opportunity.
You've had an amazing career, and opening for David Bowie's another one. You're an award-winning gardener, author, radio personality, recording artist, as well as a mum and a wife. How do you find the time? What's your secret? Do you sleep?
Well, a lot of it's luck. I was very lucky to. I was very lucky to meet my husband when I did, when I was 36. He's a good man, and we've been together 20 years now, and he's been my rock, and my kids, they've made life make sense, and they've confused it a lot, but they've given my life a lot of purpose, and inspired me, and a lot of love, and then I've got to work with my brother, and that was luck again, really. I mean, I was born into a musical family, which has been nothing but an incredible gift. So someone was looking after me when they put me on the planet all those years ago.
They were, and I know you're an avid gardener these days. But are you still getting in the recording studio?
Yeah, we're just finishing a new album I'm very excited about. Could be one of the best ones yet. Certainly rivals the best albums that I've made in the past. We're so excited about it. And we're looking for an early release next year for it now. So, we're literally just towards the end of that. Right, we've been doing it. We have been working on it on and off for the past 2 years, but we're just joining up all the dots now. I think you're gonna love it.
Oh, exciting! Does that mean we'll see some of the new material when you're down under?
No. We're going to keep it a good secret until it comes out early next year. But we'll be doing our greatest hits, and we'll throw in some surprises too. There, we'll be doing some surprise songs people might not expect us to be doing. And of course, I'm touring with Howard Jones, and we'll be coming up with some surprises ourselves. We'll have a few tricks up our sleeve.
Unreal. Is it still? Do you still love it? Is it still fun to perform? You've been doing this so long.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, my father's in his mid to late 70s, and he has just announced a tour that he's doing here in the UK in October. So it's definitely in the genes. And for me, playing live is one. If I ever stopped being fun, I certainly wouldn't do it. I love it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. You can go and have your wine now. Now, your tour with Howard Jones is in Australia from the 2nd of November to the 13th of November. Dates, details are up on our website. Kim Wilde, thank you so much for talking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're a darling, and I can't wait to see the show.
Oh, me too. Can't wait to get back to Australia. Just love that. Love Australia.
Excellent. And we'll have nice weather then, too, in November. The sun will be shining for you.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Well, have a great night. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, thank you, love. Bye.
Thanks, Kim. Bye.
Bye-bye.